Okay guys, welcome back to another video. Today's video is gonna be a little bit different. We are actually gonna go and do live exploratory testing. Well, I am, and I'm just gonna basically walk you through and explain to you why I'm doing the things I'm doing, what I'm looking for, why I'm what's my train of thought there. And yeah, just gonna try and find some bugs live and see what we can find. And my thinking is, well, I technically already chose which product that I'm gonna test already. So I'm just gonna quickly show you already. So it's actually gonna be this. It's called Canva. It's basically where you can create your logos, videos, like edit whatever you need. There's like a lot of pre-made templates you can use. And I technically use it for my YouTube thumbnails. I thought it would be fun because it has a lot of functionality. But my thinking is that it's probably also pretty stable because it's a big brand and they have invested a lot of money in making sure that it works okay. But we'll see. So there will definitely be some focus points of places that I'm gonna focus on. And I think most definitely those will be the ones that are statistically not used as much. So my thinking is that the main functions will probably work because like they're the selling points, right? But something that is like an extra and a nice to have, those could be maybe not checked or not taken as seriously. Or if there are bugs, maybe they are not fixed as quickly or like as a priority item. And yeah, I have also sort of created this document right here. It's basically where I'm gonna list two things: UI UX improvements and bugs. I'm just gonna basically, just write maybe things that I think are not very UI UX friendly. And I'm also gonna just note basically bugs or things that I think are bugs. And I'm gonna do this certain in a note type of way, like just writing a note that this is what I see, not correctly like written bugs, just notes. And I'm also gonna try to utilize my exploratory checklist that I have created prior and just see maybe there's stuff that I could be using, but this is also more for products that are on different OS systems. And I'm just gonna be checking the web app today. So there's a lot of stuff that won't apply to me, but we can maybe after like compare. And so the rules are pretty simple. I have 15 to 20 minutes to actually test things. As I mentioned, my train of thought is to check the places that are probably not gonna be covered as much and focus on basically the weak spots. And yeah, I'm just gonna walk you through. So without further ado, let's just jump into this. I'm gonna make this thing smaller. Okay, awesome. Okay, so yeah, as I mentioned, this is the product that we're gonna be testing. I'm gonna give myself time limit, basically 15 to 20 minutes. So until 12:30 or 12:30, yeah, 12:30 or a little bit above that. I already have signed in, and yeah, as I mentioned, I have used this tool before, but I literally utilize it only to make thumbnails. I haven't even checked out all the other cool stuff that's in here, so it's just gonna be fun for me as well to actually explore. And yeah, I started yeah, this is looking great so far. Okay, so basically we're gonna start off and we are gonna try to figure out what was the 404 as well. We are gonna just start off with creating a design. So this is basically the main place where you basically create whatever you need. You have all these cool already created templates. This sounds like I had a little bit, I know, I'm sorry. So I'm just gonna walk through and check out all of the other extra features that are everywhere. And I'm just gonna start off with these. By the way, I haven't really used any of these extra items, and this is like my first trying to test this thing, and so we'll see what we can find. On hide page. To me, this doesn't seem really logical that there is an I that is crossed out and now it's saying hide page. Like this, to me, seems like this should, like the page should be not hidden, but it is. And this should, like, yeah, this is like the other way around. I'm actually gonna write it down. Hidden feature. Seems like it is working the other way around. Cross eye, hidden, open eye, viewable. Is viewable a word? Okay, you get the point. That is something that I would definitely want to ask product or, I don't know, a designer. Okay, then there's this locked feature, which means that I can't do anything. Okay, so that's what it does. We can add a lot of pages. We can probably do this endlessly. I wonder what's the limit it is on this thing. And yeah, also my train of thought is basically to focus on boundaries and value analysis, positive, negative scenarios, basically checking the positive scenarios when you add something, and then also checking like outside of those bounds, what will happen. And okay, we can delete pages. We can try to select the buttons multiple ways. Interesting that it just added this thing. I started typing stuff and it just added these flyer things. That's interesting. Why? Interesting. Okay. So I can make this smaller, make this bigger. Oh, and there is a comments. Something with comments. Okay, let's see. Oh, smiley faces. You can add a lot of smileys. Okay. I don't know why this didn't post correctly. This seems weird. You have an option like that and it's not posting normally. Or interesting. And now these are sort of disturbing one another. Let's try to add a lot of characters. Okay, I'm just gonna spam this thing and just add a lot of them. Reply. So when I'm adding these characters, I would assume that it is actually sort of scrolling down with me and redirecting me there. And when I just replied, do you see what happened? I would expect for it to auto redirect me to this bottom right here. You know, you always want to check what you posted. So is it a bug or an improvement? I would say a bug, just not very, like, probably something of P4. Depends how many users actually use this. Yeah. So I will write it down. When adding a long reply, user is not redirected to the bottom of the active input tab. Yeah, so as I mentioned, I'm just gonna make these basically notes here. I'm not gonna create like correct bugs or anything like that. I'm just gonna add them like this. Yeah, so now let's try to exceed the limits of these comments. There probably should be some type of a limit. And let's try to exceed it. You also want to always try different characters. Are they either recognized or, oh, here it came. Are they recognized or not? You want white spaces. Let's try that. So this is interesting. Yeah, you can see that when I added white spaces, it didn't count it as a character, but after I input dot, it did, which is quite interesting. And let's try to like send this off. Technically, if these are counted as characters, this is already over. Your comment wasn't okay. Something failed. Interesting. Let's try to write something else. Okay, this was too much. Yeah, and this is not sending. This comment has failed to send. Okay, so basically when adding a comment that almost exceeds the limit and then adding white spaces, comment fails to send even though it was in the character allowed limit, or rather that is what it displayed. Okay, let's see what else. There's these emojis. Interesting. Let's try to send some characters like this. Let's see what will happen with this when I add a lot of stuff here. Yeah, and right now, so if I would add a new page here, you see what will happen? This is basically already disturbing if I have a really long place where I communicate, and now it's hard to understand where. Yeah, so the problem here, as you can see, is the fact that I have responded in 2 of these pages, right? And it's basically overlapping all of my other pages, which means that I can't really tell about which page the discussion is going on, as you can see, right? And another thing, yeah, if I want to add a comment here, even though they sort of dropped at the top, now it's really, really confusing to where this discussion actually is taking place, about which page. So I would actually count it as a bug or something that hasn't been thought out. Comments. When adding comments to 2 pages and adding a lot of replies to both became hard to distinguish which comment is about which page, and yeah, basically Once again, it may not be that important. I don't know how many users are using these comments, but yeah, this is just becoming not a fun experience. It's already almost half and I haven't even gotten that far. Just gotten to the comment section. Okay. Let's try to exceed the limit once again, just in a new comment. Let's try to do it with numbers. This is interesting. Okay. 48 and a space. Let's reply. Okay, so this one, it did catch. Let's delete a few of these. Okay, guys, I'm gonna give myself another few minutes just because it got way too fun, okay? And yeah, this is indeed, I would sort of mention as well under this first one. White space only after character is added. Until then, white space is not accounted for. That's why we basically have this issue. Yeah, so it failed. Let's try to reply. Reply. Let's try to add an emoji. Oh, you can't. Let's try to spam these buttons. You always want to try to spam things. You never know when stuff will break. Okay, let's see if this continues popping up. If it does, it shouldn't be like that. Yeah, it does. Okay. So basically adding comment. Yeah, it's continuing to do that. Comments. Failed comment. Spam the try again button. Pop up. Pop-up shows up over and over again on the fact that the comment failed. Yeah, and it's continuing to do that. Okay, so let's try to now resolve this thing. Since it failed, what will happen then? Oh, it resolved. Let's unresolve. Comment restored even though this one failed. Okay, so it didn't break. And yeah, still. Let's try to resolve it again. Oh, it's interesting that there's also this. I'm confused. What does this do? Like what? This is the second one. This is basically how you navigate. This is really confusing because I still don't understand which comment is this about. Let's try to resolve all of them. Let's see what happens. Then let's try to spam this. It was too late. Okay. Let's try. What else do we have here? Notes. Oh, another text input box. We love those. Let's try the same thing. So this one, for example, counted space as a exceeded character limit. And why did it show up twice that I was exceeding the limit? Two times? That's interesting. Maybe it does it for every character I ever exceed. Let's see how many times it will show up, because I just spammed a few times, like a lot of characters. So that's 2 times. 3 times. Okay, that's too many. That's a bug for sure. Yeah, and the bug notes. I'm not even sure what these notes are for. Notes. Basically, every character exceeding the limit gets its own error pop up that the limit has been exceeded. Okay, and it still continues to go. That's interesting. But yeah, what are these notes for even? Like page, it's for each and every page. You can rename the page, okay. So you can leave notes for each and every page. Okay, interesting. What else do we have here? Show pages. Okay. There's a new option, duration. And this still continues to pop up. It's really annoying. Okay. So basically I can see all of my pages. Duration. What is duration? Oh, it's like a video thing. And then you edit basically like a video, so you can make yourself a presentation. That's cool. And so how do I so this seems like a little bit odd that you are toggling it like this. Like, for example, if I would be using this the first time and I accidentally came here, I would suspect that this sort of gave me some type of a hint how to turn it off. Like, I don't know how to turn it off, how to go back to my regular view. And yeah, this seems a little confusing. And also look at these borders. It's like overlapping a bit, these frames. That is definitely a little P5. There, that page's scroll bar is overlapping. But only when it's like this big. Yeah, it overlaps. Still, I don't think that should do that. So I will note it down. Where did my little page go? Basically, duration. And scrolling to the side slides and selecting the slide bar, it becomes wider and overlaps a bit the pages borders. This is like a mini P5, I think. Yeah. This also seems a little weird that it's like overlapping like that, but this would be something I would definitely want to discuss with someone. And then yeah, the fact that I toggled it on like this and off as well, I would expect that there would be like pointers for me to understand how to turn it back off, because I stumbled on these by accident. So if I would be like, if I wouldn't have used Canva prior to this at all, I guess I would want some type of pointers or something. Yeah. And also this seems confusing. Like, I selected this thing and my pages disappeared. Like, I scroll to them like this. They are not like in one continuous scroll, I guess. And now they are. I will UI UX notes, duration buttons. As a user, maybe confusing to have to toggle them off. Doesn't seem straightforward. Doesn't? Okay. Then I think it's also interesting that duration disappears and reappears when we do this. So if we have this on and we make it smaller, well, it doesn't stay. If we select like this and do this. Interesting. Okay, we are almost out of time. But this is actually a very fun exercise. I would love to do more of these. Yeah. Yeah. So this seems also weird that duration sort of disappears when you are in this mode and reappears. Well, technically, yeah, if you are thinking in the sense of a timeline, when you are editing videos, it always goes like this. It's just, I didn't even know that it existed until I selected this button. So I would also write it as a UI UX improvement. Duration. I did not know it was there until I selected show pages button. Basically, if you hadn't even noticed this thing and I hadn't used it, the times when I was using Canva, I not once have used this thing and even checked what was beneath here. But maybe, I don't know, a lot of users maybe use this. Notes. Yeah, this is interesting. Okay. Oh, and then there's more options. Okay, I'm gonna give myself 2 more minutes, okay? I'm invested now. Okay, so there's a whiteboard option. Okay, interesting. So what does it mean? What should happen now? Yeah, and now this seems confusing because I selected this thing and before it just switched between pages. And now when I'm on this whiteboard thing, it doesn't do that. So are there other options when we are doing this? Oh, there's also a whiteboard thing here. Yeah, and it's doing the same thing. Interesting. Oh, how do you turn on the whiteboard? Through here. Oh yeah, through here. Yeah, this seems confusing to me. Like, why don't you have similar behavior then, or turn off the whiteboard automatically? When in whiteboard mode, selecting, how do you call it? Hide pages. Oh, selecting hide pages. I know what you may be saying though, like the fact that you maybe need more real estate to work on this thing and you would just want to collapse it. But then again, you're using the same behavior when you are in these pages. Maybe I also want more real estate here, and it's not the same behavior. That's the confusing part. And I understand that you may need more real estate to work here. You can select these things and remove this thing, but still, oh, this is weird that there is a slider thingy and it's doing this and then it's disappearing and anyways, collapse. So it basically screenshots and applies the same size here. Okay guys, I'm so way over already, and yeah, let's just go out and try to remove this thing, because delete this page, because that's the last thing I want to check. And it's also weird there's nothing showing here. It should show my latest something. It shows just basically empty or something in progress. I will write it down as a UI UX thing. No, it's actually like a bug thing. Let's count it as a bug. I just want to get my count up. I'm just gonna add here my design in progress. After closing it, there is no thumbnail picture in the, how do you call this, home view. Yes, there should be some type of thumbnail like this. That's what I would expect. Let's delete this thing, okay? Or maybe we should open it. I think I know how I got the 404 when I came here. Like, I had this one page that was open and I deleted it because I wanted things to be blank. And then I think here, and so it probably died because I had removed it. And so let's reload this page, and that is basically how you guide it. And this is definitely not something that should happen, because it shouldn't show error code. Yeah, obviously it's not found because it's not there, but user should be automatically redirected to homepage. Yes. This one I technically found right as we were filming this video, and yeah, it was because I removed my page where I had my picture in. Error: when design is open, you delete it from homepage and reload the design page. 404. I would say it's pretty cool, pretty neat. Let's go back home. At least it redirected us back home. Okay, the one last thing we did not check is our exploratory checklist. Let's quickly see what we did check, not check. All around option sections, honestly, yeah, we basically got to comment section and just the small little options. I didn't even get that far. This is like, yeah, this was like a minimal effort. I think if I could invest more time in it, we could probably find a lot of more things. Negative scenarios, for sure. Submitting stuff with no data. You know what? I didn't try to reply a comment when I didn't have anything in there. Wait, let's quickly try. Oh, you can't. Yeah, that's why I didn't try it. Yeah, you have to have something in there. White space doesn't count in this. Yeah. Okay. Different characters. Yes, validation for empty fields. Yep. Font increase in device. Yeah, this is not the case. Security. Yeah, we skipped the sign-in because I thought it would be easier if I was already inside. But obviously, you always want to check the sign-in login screens. Boundary tests. Love these things. Long text, short text, all of it. Exceeding limits, inside the limits. You always want to play around with those things. Something always breaks, as you saw here as well. Even in Canva, stuff breaks. Screen sizes, yeah. This is not the case, but we could have, technically, this is not already a huge screen, but we could play around with the screens a bit more. And yes, I actually didn't even have console open because I can't open it in this, because this is technically Canva app I'm using. So next time I should maybe use like web so I could open console. Wi-Fi, yeah, we didn't check the Wi-Fi. Screen rotations, all links, double taps. Yep. And then there's specific tests, but these are usually longer ones. Collect feedback, UI UX, yes, we did. Probably some else stuff that I could have actually written down. But basically, we wrote down 8 bugs and 4 UI UX improvements. Of course, this is just my opinion. And the bugs, maybe some of these are actually meant to work like that, maybe not. It's technically, my perspective. I'm not, I don't know the product owner, haven't spoken to them and talked through these points, so I'm not sure if this is actually how it's supposed to work. But this is just what I would definitely, if I would have started on a project like this is basically a list that I would create and go and talk over with. And yeah, this is actually really, really fun. I would love to do more of these. Yes. And as we saw from the checklist, also some stuff we did check, but a lot of this stuff is specific for devices and stuff like that. So it may not apply to this. But usually when you're testing, you definitely want to keep your console open, which I can't open as I'm in an app. Yes, guys, that is basically it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did. Sorry for going a little on overboard, but it was very fun. And yeah, see you in the next one.